I forgot to start the recording, but that's fine. Yes I did. Thank you, Bryce. Also, this is your last class of the week, guys. Be happy. No school tomorrow, right? Please let me know when y'all finish. Are y'all still working, or is everybody finished? Anybody still working? Cool. Good work, y'all. It's crucial to do these. I'm trying to get you on the homework to where the homework's nice and easy instead of a challenge. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So, that's 7. I want to complete the square on x squared plus 12x. So I get y equals x squared plus 12x. And the 70, I'm just going to move over here. I want some space so I can add my new guy. And now, I want to divide 12 by 2 and square it. So I get 12 divided by 2 equals 6. 6 squared is 36. So we're adding in 36. And if I add in 36, I also have to subtract it back out to perfectly counteract it. So now I get, this will factor as x, keep the sign, plus divide by 2, 6 squared. That takes care of all of that, and now I'm just left with 70 minus 36, which is 24. Positive 24. So our vertex lies at -6, comma, positive 24. Any questions here? It's 34, isn't it? It should be 34, huh? Bam. Fixed. Thank you. Cool, cool. Okay. So if you've noticed, all the 3 we've done so far have been plus, plus, plus. Let's try one that's minus. It's not too bad, and so I'll show you. Consider x squared minus, what do I want to do? It doesn't really matter. 18x plus 2. So I want to complete the square on the x's. So I'll take -18, divide by 2, so I get -9, and then I want to square it. When I square it, the negative goes away. I get positive 81. When you complete the square, this number that you add in is always going to be positive. So I get x squared minus 18x. We're adding in 81 in order to complete the square. Whoops. If we're going to add in 81, we have to counteract it by subtracting out. And of course, we have the plus 2 from earlier. So now we can factor that. Y equals x, keep the sign, negative, divide by 2, I get 9 squared, so that represents this guy. Then I have 2 minus 81 is negative 79. Any questions about this? Cool. Let's try another practice problem. So I would like you to try, please, y equals x squared minus 20x plus 150. So put this in vertex form and find the vertex. Anybody still working? Are we finished? Need another minute? Done. Alright, I'll assume y'all are done. So let's take a gander at this guy. Alright, so we have, let's see, that's fine. So, y equals x squared minus 20x. I'm going to complete the square on that guy, and the 150 is left alone. So I get negative 20 divided by 2 equals negative 10. And negative 10 squared equals 100. So that's what I need to add in and subtract out. So now this is completed square. What happened to my... There we go. That's close enough. So this will become factored form. X, keep this sign, divide by 2, quantity squared. And that takes care of all of that, and then 150 minus 100 is plus 50. So our vertex lies at 10 comma negative 50, positive 50. Any questions here? Not too bad, right? Let's take a look at another kind. Consider y equals negative x squared plus 16x plus 50. That's fine. What are we going to do with this? So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to factor the negative out of the x terms. Not the 50, just out of the x terms. So y equals negative quantity x squared minus 16x plus 50. See, I left the 50 alone. I just brought the negative outside so it's not messing with these guys anymore. I want the x squared to be positive so that I can complete the square properly. X squared needs to be positive. Any questions about this? I factored out the negative from these two guys because x squared needs to be positive. Okay, so what I'm looking at is y equals negative quantities x squared minus 16x. I'm going to leave some space here because I need to complete the square, right? Plus 50. Okay, how do I complete the square? I will take negative 16, divide by 2 is negative 8, and negative 8 squared is 64. So I add 64. Alright, this is the trip up, so pay attention. Did I really add 64? No. I added negative 64, didn't I? I added a positive 64 on the inside, but because of this negative on the outside, that really means that I created negative 64. I took 64 pounds out of my backpack, so I need to add 64 pounds back in. Do you all see how instead of creating a positive number, I did create a positive number on the inside, but this number is actually negative because of this guy. Any questions about this? And so simplifying down, I get y equals negative quantity x, I'm going to factor this, keep the sign, minus, divide by 2, 8 squared, plus, what is that, 114. Okay. Any questions on this before we attempt a practice problem? So I'm going to write the practice problem in green, and I'm going to leave this up so you can see the example. So I would like you to try, please, y equals negative x squared minus 4x plus 1. Please try this. Who has finished? Has anybody finished? Is anybody stuck? Do you have a question? Finito. Alright, let's take a gander. So, do I have room? I actually have a ton of room. Okay, cool, wonderful. So y equals, I need to factor out that negative from those two guys. So I get negative quantity x squared plus 4x, and I'm just going to skip a step and allow room for what I'm going to create here in a moment. So now I need to complete the square on x squared plus 4. 4 divided by 2, I get 2. 2 squared, I get 4. So to complete the square, I need to add 4. But did I add 4 or did I really subtract 4? This means negative 4 units that I just created. So in order to balance that out, I need to add back in 4 units. Excellent. So here I get y equals negative quantity. We can factor this x, keep this sign, divide by 2, x plus 2 quantity squared plus 5. So the vertex will lie at negative 2, 5. Any questions? Are we comfortable with this? Is this pretty easy, would you say? Okay, well, that's all we've got for today. The homework is to finish that worksheet, just the second set of 6 problems. It will ask you to complete the square. And we're going to have a quiz. And the quiz is just going to be over what you just turned in. Graphing from Vertex Form. The homework we just turned in today that you said you had no questions on. And if you do have questions, let me know. It'll probably just be 1 or 2 questions, honestly. Okay. With that being said, the quiz will be up sometime later today. And your homework I'll put on the portal here in just a moment. And have a great weekend, y'all.